Hello and good evening. It is the AFL Armchair Advisors. We are back in the studio for round 15 of this AFL season 2021. Now we're going to be doing a full 9 games this round. It's business as usual. We're back to the way it should be. 9 games. Des has got a scramble. We've all got dummy of the week. It's going to be a jam-packed show. I am Rich of the Armchair Advisors. Joining me, of course, is Sensible Dan. How are you, fella?
I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than Ben Simmons right now, mate. Hell of a lot better.
It was most corpses. There are corpses out there that be feeling better than poor
absolutely.
Ben. A big RIP.
Down bad.
Speaking of feeling good all the time, it's our global field correspondent, Desmond Van Bus. How are you, Big Dessy?
I'm fantastic. As you can see, you can't wear the dad shirt. Can't wear the dad shirt without feeling like a dad.
Are you indicating that you're a dad now?
No,
what are you?
I'm not a dad. I'm not a dad
that
I know of.
Yeah,
No, but I'm feeling fantastic. Ready for a full round. A full round of footy. I've missed it. I missed it a lot more than I thought I would. But
it's nice to have a full 9 games on the slate. There is a ton to get through. So first things first, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're just 3 little weirdos in a room who do this for free each week. We chat to you about who's going to win, who you should be tipping, what you should be chucking your money on.
make you some coin.
Asterisk, this is not financial advice, gamble responsibly, etc., etc. Boys, let's jump into it. Now, before we do, what I love about businesses and corporations is that they will never jump on any passing trend. They stay true to themselves. They stay true to their mission. They stay true to what made them great as businesses in the first place. They'll never pander. They will never be cynical and utilize a movement for their own ends. That's what I love about businesses and corporations. And we are the exact same here at the Armchair Advisors. We have got credibility. We have got integrity. And we are, of course, we're socially responsible individuals.
Absolutely. And I would say the strongest moral compass of anyone on the planet.
The strongest moral compass of anyone on the planet. Exactly right. I'm glad you all agree. And that's why this round is Pride Round. We're doing Pride Round it's got nothing to do with anything I just said in the past. We're doing Pride Round. Yeah.
I'm big prideful. Big pride.
It's just him nodding his head. That's as silly as he gets because he's sensible Dan.
Exactly right.
He's sensible Dan.
I'll leave the tomfoolery to you two, and I'll just conduct my business.
Who's Tom and why? What's foolery?
Who's tomfoolery? Wow, the average IQ quotient in the room. IQ quotient. See, it's rubbing off on me now. The average intellectual capabilities in the room just drained out.
I love chucking that. Yeah.
You hurt me. All right, let's leap straight into a Thursday night, boys. It is Brisbane Lions versus the Geelong Cats up at the Gabba for a Thursday. What an unbelievably delicious, moist game to kick off the round. Big Dessy, what do you like here, mate?
Big game. This is like it is a rematch of the prelim. The prelim, the correct term. Correct term.
Well done.
Prelim of last year.
You sound like an
Geelong
expert.
rolled them. Geelong rolled them pretty hard. But you know what? I watched the Geelong game against Western Bulldogs, and you watch 2 great sides, and you expect a great game of footy. We just didn't. We got a great game. It was an awesome game because obviously it come down to a kick after the siren. But skills wise, oh man, that was a tough game to watch.
Left a lot to be desired.
You know,
That's
it
the
didn't look
oval,
like 1 and 2. Didn't look like 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 or whatever they are on the ladder. It didn't look like 2 premiership contenders, and I feel like they brought it out of each other. But if Geelong play like that at the Gabba, I feel like Brisbane are going to run over the top.
Irrepressible. It's got a bit to do with that ground, though. It's a tiny little ground. But I know what you say.
That doggy did struggle with that big time. I did see that. And Joel Selwood even said that after the game. He said, we were lucky we played here because otherwise the doggies might have spread us and we might have been in a bit of trouble. Tired legs.
It's interesting. Have you noticed that the Cats seem to play up to their opposition all year and they play down to bad opposition?
Correct.
Which is one of the big reasons I'm genuinely thinking the Cats are going to put on an absolute show for us. Interestingly, quick stat, no team has been within 4 goals of the Lions at the Gabba this year.
Is that right?
No team who has played the Lions at the Gabba has got within 4 goals of them. Very interesting. Having said that, another stat for you, the Cats are on a 6-game win streak at the minute.
They are hot, mate.
Including consecutive top 4 wins. What do you think about that?
Sydney beat the Lions, didn't they?
Sydney beat the Lions.
At the Gabba. Round 1.
I don't know about that.
I can't-
I'll check this.
Sydney-
Dan, tell me who's
Sydney-
winning.
Mate.
Sydney beat them because I made the big call. Yes.
I think you're right, actually. I think he is
All
right.
right,
Was
let
it
me
at the
check
Gabba, though?
Let me check this.
Okay.
It was.
Anyway,
Sensible
this
Des.
is actually my pick.
Well then, Shizen.
Every other team, though. Every other team, though.
I've got to cop that one right in the DICK. That one there. I have been wrong. I look like enough and I look like enough early.
But every other team was. Every other team was, just not Sydney.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Look, this is actually my pick for the grand final. I
Jeepers.
actually like these two teams to go all the way this year. They just got styles that stack up come the pointy end. And I think this is going to be a barn burner. I'm really looking forward to it. Brisbane will be out for blood. They want to avenge that loss from last week. Joel Selwood's got a bit of shit on the liver because he's the bad boy of the AFL at the moment. Chrissy Scott was giving him a bit of a pump up earlier, saying, "No, you got to look at his little reputation."
We'll
that
get
he's
to
got.
that.
Yeah,
No, we'll get to
not
that,
having
Doug.
But look, this is shaping up to be a massive game. A lot of implications for the back end of the season. I am going to be taking the Lions 1-39 here, just because I like them a little bit more right now. Even though both of us have currently got money riding on the Cats for the flag, but I like the Lions here at the Gabbatoir.
Interesting. I've gone the Catters 1-39, to be honest with you. I just like the fact that the Cats play up to their oppo, and being on a 6-game winning streak, that is 4 games more than the next winning streak, of which is 2.
Big time coin flip, though. Big time coin
yeah,
flip.
dude, massively. And I've got to say something here. I've been led astray by Fox Footy, who wrote here Brisbane Lions in their power rankings. Let's have a look here.
Was it saying undefeated also?
No team has gotten within 4 goals of Brisbane at the Gabba. Oh, shite. Since round 1. All right, fine. I'm a clown. Well done.
I
Well
was
done,
going to
Rich.
say
the rack,
no one
dearie
has
me.
got close because that has been my point for Brisbane at the Gabba. That's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned when I backed him in against Melbourne, and obviously that come off wrong. But yeah.
Honestly, didn't come here tonight thinking you'd switch places
What a
again.
dunce bucket. I mean,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
that
You
night
know
I
what?
snorkeled the bottle of wine. I snorkeled the bottle of wine watching that game.
Boys, let's roll on. I think we've all come to a decision on that one.
You have bets.
I've got bets, although now I don't know if you should be taking any of them on board because I've just
Eddie-
made myself
Eddie
look like an
bets.
absolute tool bag.
It's not a financial advice anyway, mate, so it doesn't matter.
All right,
Take
let's
these at your own peril.
take these at your own
These
peril.
come off
Although
more
having,
than not.
well, we had a couple of big ones on the weekend,
time.
and I tipped 5 from 5 last week. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, I would have done it if I didn't forget to put them in. That hurts.
What a clod. Anyhow, we are looking at, for this game, I'm looking at Big Stink Beans McCarthy anytime goal, and I'm going to ride that boy till he dies. It's Pride round, and I'm on Stink McCarthy. I'm also liking Jared Lyons, 25 touches. Patrick Dangerfield, 20 touches. He's just building. He's just building quietly. Big Hugh McCluggage for 25 touches. And Jeremy Cameron, anytime goal scorer in the second half.
Okay.
Is what I'm liking for that little lot. And
He's been back-ended hard.
and that is exact. You make a pun, and you shouldn't, but he's right.
He
But
is
he's
very
right,
right.
though. He's right,
I did
though.
not mean to.
He's bang on the money. He's bang on.
You can't help it in Pride round, mate. You just can't.
We're prideful.
stressed.
We have a lot of pride in what we're
You just
doing.
can't.
That's paying a fraction under $6.
The only other one I would add to that, on Neds at the moment.
Hello.
Or redacted. Sorry, I don't know about that. We can speaking in betting companies, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Look, Isaac Smith, 80+ fantasy points at $1.46. That's a nice little multi-fluffer because
Don't mind that.
he just will not go under 80. Game will be nice and open. He'll have free reign, I reckon.
He's averaging about 91 at the minute.
Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity.
That's not bad. Not bad. You have anything for us? You've been too busy clothes shopping.
I've been too busy dad
Look at
shopping.
the macaws. Look at the parrots on this here. You know, you've got,
It's an awesome shirt.
He's
I've got a
wearing-
matching
It
one
is.
for my puppy.
it's blue, it's red, there's
Where-
palm trees, I tell you.
Where'd you get it? Lowe's?
Yeah, Lowe's.
It looks like a Lowe's shirt.
You got it at Lowe's in Hawaii.
Do you know what though? Lowe's are unreal for these shirts.
Lowe's, if you want to sponsor us, we would deck
No
a man
lie.
out. We would
There's
deck
not
a
a
man
shirt
out.
that I don't have from Lowe's.
Jeepers. Let's move on to Friday night's game. It is the Richmond Tigers versus the St Kilda Saints at the MCG. Sensible Dan, what are you liking here, mate? What
I
are you
like
taking?
Richmond a lot in
Yeah.
this game. And
Hard not to,
I'm hard pressed not to. They're both coming off a bye though, so you'd think the Saints would have had a bit of a refresh, and Rats would have got stuck into them. Pre-bye, they were disgraceful.
A rabble.
They should have beaten. They should have beaten the Crows by all rights. There was no reason they should have lost that game. But the Tigs, they're just kicking on. They're hanging into the 8th spot at the moment. They're going to make finals, and I just think they're going to be too powerful here for the Sainters.
They have been ranked as having the easiest draw of all 18 clubs in the run home. Did you
Yeah,
know
it's
that?
looking real good until I think it was
we
around
to be
22 or
surprised?
23.
I mean, why would
As
you?
they have a tough game. I think they've got literally one tough game.
Who
And
they
they've got to
got?
go to Freo. They've got to go to Freo and Optus next week, which is
that's
whatever.
all right.
That's not that bad.
But I think it's round 23. They may have.
They've got Hawthorn. Hawthorn in round 23, working back. Giants round 22.
It could be
They
tough.
don't.
Could be tough if the
I'm
Giants
telling
are
you,
still
it
playing for
literally
something.
says Giants versus Richmond.
Yeah. No, I mean, and they got Port up, go up.
What else is going on?
North Melbourne, sorry.
North Melbourne,
Oh.
yuck. That's round 21. Round 20, they've got Freo at Optus. Round 19, they've got the Cats at the G.
That's the one. That's the one.
That'll
tough
be one
I
to watch
saw.
out for. And then in the round 18, they've got the Lions. So they've got a couple of tricky ones, but they've got a nice end,
Real
nice
end.
run home.
Why, as a league, would you schedule the reigning defending champions to have a nice hard run home? You just want to let them ease into finals and
Biased. Oh no, I used the wrong hand. You're on the wrong
redacted.
side. I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
Look, back to this game though, they're going to be too strong, way too strong for the Saints. Saints are still going to be a bit of a rabble, and that's just long and short of it.
Nothing else to add. All you got to do is look at what happened earlier in the year. They won by 70 points and really hit in the. They're driving the manual car. They're sitting in the first or second gear. I'd be real surprised if they put it in second.
Mate, they were neutral banging it towards the end of the game. Just
it was
jammed it out of gear and just put the feet behind the
they
head.
did.
You know,
And for every
little
I think
flutter.
I remember watching that game, and I reckon Saints kicked like 2 goals in the fourth quarter, and Richmond were like, awesome, here's 6 or something. There was something like that. And I could be wrong, but that's how I remember the game. I remember the game going,
I mean, what more do you need to know? Tigers at home. Tigers at the G again.
Yep.
Tigers at the G. Job done. Yeah, Tigers. I've tipped them actually 40 plus here. The Tigers.
that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Or done it by 60 or 70.
Just put a number on it. Go for it. Look, let's have a look. I've got a little multi-bet. Dusty Martin, anytime goal. Your man, Jake Hartz, anytime goal. Shy Bolton. Now, I need to start getting this right. Is it Shy?
I always call him Shy.
I called him Shy.
Every commentator says it differently. Shy or Shay. Apologies. I'm going with Shy.
That's
Shy
my first
Bolton, anytime goal.
question.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Also, Shy Bolton, 20 touches. Jack Steele, 25 touches. And I also went back, looked at the goal markets and thought Castagne's been on a bit of a run the last month or so. He'll have one against St Kilda.
Self-tat.
Prison tat.
The old prison tat. Teabag.
Anytime. That's paying about $7.40, that lot.
Like I'm gonna back in Luke Dunstan to have a pretty big game because I reckon he'll tag Dusty Martin. I reckon there's any way that Rats will just let Dusty roam free. So I'm gonna back in Lukey Dunstan to have 90 plus fantasy points.
Okay.
With a good majority of that coming from tackles.
Just going to have to.
Some big hugs.
And they're going to have to be good because Dusty loves breaking a tackle.
Big pride-filled hugs.
He loves breaking
But yeah,
a
it's
tackle.
$1.48 and I reckon that's a nice little fluffer.
Enjoy that a lot. Alrighty, let's go to the other end of the table now. Let us examine, if we may, gentlemen, down at Blundstone Arena on Saturday, it is the North Melbourne Kangaroos versus the Gold Coast Suns. Now, fellas, on the one hand, you've got the Roos, right? Yes, they just lost to Brisbane, but they held them. They held a lazy Brisbane. This is Brisbane that didn't get out of second gear, but, North weren't getting belted by them. I think Brisbane turned up thinking, easy 4 points here, and they didn't quite get the easy run with it that they were expecting to.
Yep.
Whereas on the other hand, the Suns got absolutely pumped by a spiteful, a bullying Port Adelaide outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams lost, yes, coming in. I feel the form is a lot better of the Roos. The Roos had the more honourable loss, so to speak, coming in.
They've drawn recently.
Well, and they drew the week before.
They drew the week before. And you've also, when you've got Tony Cochrane, the chairman of the Suns, getting out on TV, using words like shithouse and rabble and all these sorts of things, just shite canning your club on live TV, that's not good for morale.
I wouldn't
That's
have
not
thought
good.
so.
Nah.
I wouldn't have thought
Not
so.
good at all.
That Collingwood at the end of the last year.
The person I feel worse for in this whole situation is Jew.
Oh, big Juicy.
Getting no support whatsoever. Getting canned by every man and his dog, including his own chairman. Wider media is actually starting to get onto it, and they're saying, let's back off him a little bit. Because I actually think Stuart Dew does a good job.
I agree.
I've always rated him as a coach, and I just feel bad. I feel real bad for him at the moment.
Great football mind. I can understand him. You can see it translate. Just not in results, unfortunately. He's so unlucky.
Is it the cattle, or is it the message, or is it the game plan? Is it all three? Is it the football department? What is it?
Department.
You reckon?
I think they've also, you can't blame it for everything. They've also been hit with the injury curse, probably worse than just about anybody.
Big time.
Not because as we discussed earlier on in the year, it's not just to their shit kickers on the bottom of the list. It's
everyone.
It's their A grade cattle. If that happened to any team
They're
in the
all
league,
getting
you'd all be struggling.
That's very bizarre.
struggling.
Very bizarre. I'm going North 1-39 based off of that.
As mine.
Interesting little stat for you. Desmond, of how many of their games at Blundstone Arena have the Gold Coast Suns won?
Oh, they haven't won any.
That is correct, because they haven't played there
there we
ever.
go.
This is their first venture over to Blundstone. That tells you all you need to know.
That was literally my reasoning for picking North in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Without even knowing that stat, I just figured that Suns wouldn't have been down there too often, and
Never.
North don't mind it.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think North are playing better footy.
I agree.
It's not an outrageous call. But this year, I never thought I'd say that.
No, it's
and
not.
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win comfortably. I think it's going to. No, do you know what? I think they're going to be winning to the third quarter comfortably, and they're going to have to fight real hard in that fourth quarter because they're going to be tired. But I think Gold Coast will be equally as fatigued. They're playing a very similar brand of footy.
And I think you can sort of draw like comparisons with Robbie Tarrant coming back into the team, Luke McDonald coming back into the team, Jaden Stevenson coming back into the team. Like they just seem to be building a little bit. And it's good to see week on week. As a neutral observer, you don't like to see teams get pumped every single week.
They get a win.
Correct.
I think they're going to be one step closer from not getting the wooden spoon. I think it's going to be it might be the old Hawks.
Only 2 wins behind the Hawks at the minute, and it could be 1.
A win and a half, is it not? Because of the draw.
Correct answer.
Win and a half.
Let's talk bets. I've got Aaron Hall, 25 touches. I've got Jack Zeeble, 25 touches. I've got Chonk Miller for 30 touches. I've got your man, Oleg Markov, for 15. And I've also,
mate. Love him.
He's posting real nice stuff on Instagram. Check it out.
Yeah.
if you like grapes, you're going to love his Insta. And I'm posting Matty Rao for 20 touches, which is, I feel, the most speculative of the lot.
Very much so.
But he's building nicely, and if you're going to get touches, who are you going to do it against, apart from the current wooden spooner?
He has looked a little bit off, but you would expect that
It's gonna be
coming off such a long layoff.
It's about $7 that one, go for it.
The only other two that I would add to that, I like Jai Simpkin 25 plus because he's been playing real good footy lately.
The simp.
Exactly.
The old Simpo.
Yeah, the big simp king. And also to go 90 plus fantasy points for $1.40 as well because he loves stat picking and I like that.
Yeah.
So why not?
Rate that big time. Things that we don't rate big time, however, are typically Desmond Van Bus's 60 second, with the fingers, scramble. And I think he's got another one on board for us. Do you have another one on board for us?
I do. I'm very excited today. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Mixed bag of lollies today. Mixed bag of fish. Mixed bag of whatever you would like it to be.
Mixed bags of lollies, lots of colours, rainbow colours, rainbow, pride.
Inclusive.
Inclusive.
No lolly left out.
No lolly left out, all are tasty.
I like it. I agree. Which Collingwood player sleeps in a ski outfit and scuba goggles, Dan?
Like what gives him sexual powers? Max Lynch.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of Maxi Gorn about him. He's a bit of a larrikin, and I feel like he'd do that to just have a bit of a laugh at some of the boys.
Yeah. Wake up next to the missus. Oh, well, look what I'm wearing.
At least it'll be warm.
Yeah.
All right, this is a bit of a competition time here. For Richie, who could type a 400-word essay about the flora of Australia faster? Aaron Hall or Harry Mackay?
Of the what flora?
The flora.
I think Aaron Hall. If his fingers move as quick as his legs do, he's going to spit some stuff out. Also, and this is no disrespect to Harry Mackay, very good full forward, very good footballer. He doesn't look like a man well versed in this country's flora and or fauna. I'm going for Aaron Hall.
Respect it. Talking about fauna, which Giants player has a secret obsession with the koala bear?
With the koala bear. Isaac Cumming looks like he'd have a bunch of stuffed koala bears at the end of his bed.
I can imagine. I can picture that.
Get around it. Alrighty. Would John Noble like Pepsi or Coke?
I reckon Coke Zero.
Yeah.
I reckon he's on Kenny Hinkley's
He doesn't
bandwagon.
like that sugar.
Take care of the body, mate. You only get one.
It's a temple.
All right, Dan. Who would win in a breath-holding competition? Shai Bolton or Cam Guthrie?
Ooh.
That's a toughie.
That's actually a tough
That's a toughie. It's a toughie.
I'll go Shai Bolton purely because I feel like he's just one of those guys that you could ask to do anything and he'd just be good at it.
Oh, that's my
literally anything. He's just gifted.
I like that a lot.
Whereas Cam Guthrie,
like
he's a battler. He'd have to struggle. He'd have to learn how to hold his breath, and then he'd have to practice it week on week.
I like that question, Des.
2 more questions to go. What would Alistair Clarkson's morning coffee order be?
Clarko. He'd have 2. There's the one that he tells the boys and the one that he actually gets. The one he tells the boys, "Oh, Clark, I'm going on a coffee run, mate. Do you want me to get you anything?" Yeah, just tell the girl to stick her hand into the back of the machine, pull out the grounds, and bring them back. And I just want to snort them. I want to do lines off of them, off your head.
And then the real one's chai latte.
Can I just get a chai latte, please? Skinny chai.
With a bit of caramel syrup.
Caramel drizzle.
Yeah.
Caramel drizzle.
That's what it is. All right. Final question. Who would win in SingStar, Daisy Thomas or Daisy Pearson? Does the song affect the outcome? Which I think.
Well, the song does affect the outcome. Without being stupid.
Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy.
Everyone's got a different sound.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got a different sound. So the song absolutely... What is the
Avril
song?
Lavigne, Skater Boy.
Skater Boy. I'll go Dessy because I reckon he'd put his heart and soul into it. Like
said-
Dessy Thomas.
Dessy Thomas.
He put his
Boy,
heart.
Dessy.
He put his heart and soul into it.
Did you just assume his gender?
Oh no.
It's Pride Month.
Oh.
It is
I'm
be inclusive.
The only way you can assume is if you go to his Instagram bio and see if he's got he, him written next to it. If not, don't.
Thank you. Sensible,
We've made an
inclusive,
example. You've made an
inclusive
example
Dan,
of Dan.
inclusive Dan,
Simple.
shameful, cancel, inclusive, disgusting. All right, let's move on. We've got a Saturday afternoon Spitefield clash. I say it's Spitefield. There's absolutely no reason these two teams have got nothing between them. It's the Collingwood Magpies and the Fremantle Dockers. Oh, Danny boy. What do you reckon about this one?
Can I just point out quickly the fixturing for this Saturday afternoon of football?
It's just
Absolute wasteland.
A
So
crime.
if you're planning on doing anything else, just get out and do it. It doesn't really matter what.
Nope.
Perhaps who were you just talking about not being a gardener? Who didn't have a green thumb in the scramble?
Harry Mackay.
Yeah, perhaps Harry Mackay can go out into the backyard and
go look at a koala.
start learning. Look, I don't really know what to expect from the Pies here. No one does because it's new coaching staff. Bob Harvey taking over. Could literally be anything. Brody Grundy coming back in's nice.
Massive. You seen his haircut?
I have.
Looks like a looks like.
Did either of you see who?
Sexy too,
Did either of you see who did it?
Oh, I did see who did it. His best friend.
It was Darker Moore.
Darcy
I didn't know
Moore.
that.
Yeah, Darcy
I'm
Moore.
impressed by that.
His best friend.
You shouldn't be because it was not good, but it looks alright. It's not bad.
I like it.
He's just a good looking rooster.
Look, again, don't really know what to expect from the Pies. I'm going to be backing them here because I just feel like they're in slightly better shape at the moment. Taylor Adams coming back into the fold as well, by all accounts.
Yeah, but how well off is he? Do you know what I mean?
Well, who knows?
Last another quarter and then ping a hammy.
Who knows? But he's tough as old boots, mate. He just gets it done. Also, Matty Tab back in for Freo,
That's a big
likely
one.
inclusion, which is pretty big for them.
That's
so
a big one.
I'm going to tip the Pies 1-39 because I just think that new coach smell gets them over the line.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you always look at these new teams, and especially, like, if Collingwood were playing, even if they were playing a better team, say, like a Giants or, like, along that, just a little bit better than Freo, I'd still back him in. Just that new coach, it seems just to come off every time. It seems to come off. I can only remember, like, one time it not coming off.
I know what Rich is going to say here.
Is it a new coach, though?
I mean, it is.
Is it a new coach,
Yeah,
though?
but
He's been there 11 years now.
I
Big
lost
Bobby
the
Harvey.
tips in 2019 from interim coaches coming in, and then I got rolled.
Also, just quickly, has anyone else ever called him Bob Harvey? Are we the first to do
We're
it?
the first people to call him Bobby.
I
Bobby.
like it. I like it.
Bobby Harvey.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Pies 1-39. I feel like the win against Melbourne was a real
Huge
big
one.
win.
But how much of that was emotion?
But they're coming off back to back as well.
Yeah.
But how much of that was emotion?
I feel like they can ride it.
Ride the wave, bruh.
Interesting stuff. I don't know if the new coach sweeps clean. Harvey's been there for a long, long time now. And if they just keep playing under him like they were under Buckley, I don't know. But if they play against Freo like they did against the D's, then bang.
Easily.
Then it's a big win.
I don't think they will play like they're under Buckley because realistically, Bob's got, 7-8 games to make an impression to get this job?
He's got 9 games, including this week.
9 games, including this week, to make an impression, to make this job his own. Going out there and saying, just do what we did the last 10 weeks, not going to fly.
I don't think he's got this job. Extreme fishing with Bobson Green
But
will not be airing again in season 2022.
But even for Collingwood, he could be applying for any job. This is his chance to prove himself.
Interesting.
AFL coaches don't get a second chance.
Where's he go? Suns?
Well, I don't know. Anyway,
Suns, interesting.
I love it. I hope he does well.
there could be an
Bob
opening at
Harvey.
the Carlton job there, mate.
Ooh, damn. All right, look, I don't know. The Pies are already playing all the kids, so what more can you do there? They've got Grundy and Adams coming back, so what more can you do there? I don't know. Just, boys, don't be shit, please, for like 9 weeks and then do what you want. I don't know. I don't know what you tell them, but I think Collingwood in Melbourne, and it depends a lot if Fife's back. I don't think he gets up for this, to be honest with you. That's a big out. I'm tipping the Pies 1-39 here on this one. I can't in good conscience tip the Dockers, so I'm going with the Pies. Let's have a look at a little bet. I've got Caleb Poulter, the human broomstick, for 15 touches. John Noble, the human white boy, for 15 touches. Andrew Brayshaw, the human jawbone, for 25 touches. I've got Liam Henry, the nation's favourite, for an anytime goal. And then I've got Rory Lobb. There's nothing special about him, just for an anytime goal. That's what I've
fair.
got. And that's paying about $6.50, that.
Interesting, because I had 3 completely different ones that,
I love that.
that you didn't include. So
Beautiful.
I'll go through them.
Fire away.
Luke Ryan, 20 plus. He just loves his
loves a bit
his
of a touch.
cheap disposals off the back line.
He's back.
Jackie Crisp, 25, because he gets it every single week, and why would it be any different? And Scott Pendlebury for 80 plus fantasy points. He's been back the last couple of weeks.
He's had 2 good ones.
It's only a short leg, only $1.32, but he's had 3 games in a row over 90 now, so you could even go over 90.
Well, the rest will
if
help
you
him too.
wanted to,
The rest will help him. Him coming back from the bye.
And I know you were a little bit worried about a Caleb Sarong tag. I don't think it. I don't think they'll bother.
I'm keeping an eye open on
I
the
don't think they'll bother.
proceedings. Yeah, well, you'd think not. We shall see. Saturday night is the Essendon Bombers versus the Melbourne Demons. Interesting. Now, and if you listen to the AFL media landscape,
The 2 best teams in the competition going head to head.
Dons are back. Dons are back.
The competition's sleeping giant.
You know, like you hear the media talk about it, and you look at Sportsbet, and you've got Essendon paying $4,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then Melbourne paying $1.25. And I look at that, and like I don't want to. I'm not buying into Essendon. I think they're playing good footy, but they're obviously not as good as the media say.
The money
But then
tells the story.
I look at the $4 odds, and I think that's actually like if they weren't playing Melbourne, that'd be Des Dog of the week with that $4 odds. That's like Des Dog value bet of the week.
Do you have a dog?
Not this week.
No, he doesn't
Not
have a
this
dog.
week. No dog this week.
It's a tough week, though.
I'm not going
dogless.
to chuck this face out if I don't think they're going to win, and I don't think Essendon. I don't think they're going to win. Melbourne are going to be. They're going to be upset about that loss. I think they're going to be up. Like you saw last time they lost to Adelaide, they come back firing, and Essendon are not as good as the media are pumping them up, and that's going to get in their head. I reckon.
See,
it gets in your
I
head.
think all 3 of us have been of the same opinion. The Dons have definitely
Heaps better than
improved
Shown a
this
lot
better.
this year.
And
Oh, boy.
we were right off at the start of the year, and I actually do enjoy watching them play footy. They play a nice attacking brand. Like Jake Stringer on the weekend had the game of his life. I can't hold it
he
against
was
the bloke.
unreal.
Where's that been?
But this, like the dick riding that the media does to teams when they get a few wins on the board is unbelievable. And it's always Victorian teams. Earlier on this year, it was all Carlton.
Yeah.
Could not stop slobbing on them. Now, they all want every Carlton player to die. David Teague's house should be burned down. Get rid of the footy club.
Yeah. Blow it up. Don't even
Move
start
to
again.
Tassie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this. Just let them play.
So what-
Let them play.
So are you saying that a media organisation is just shamelessly jumping on any given trend at any given time?
I am saying that.
Not something we would ever do.
No.
Not something we would ever do.
No, too strong in the moral compass.
Too strong in the moral
Look,
compass.
yeah, going D's 1-39. I don't think it'll be a flogging, but getting Viney back's pretty big for the midfield group
Big
as
time.
well.
Talisman.
And he's sort of like this, spiritual leader as well. So, yep, D's 1-39 for me.
Everyone's saying that the Dons played well against the Hawks, and they weren't too bad, but let me just sober that out a little bit for you, that the Dons actually had 2 less scoring shots than the Hawks on the day and still managed to win by 13. So I put it to you, Essendon were okay, but Stringer did the heavy lifting. And if he wasn't there playing for him and had the game of his life, I don't know if they would have got over the
They
line.
went dead in the middle of the game.
They did go
like
dead,
nothing.
exactly.
And if they do that, you do that against Melbourne, and you're gonna the game
You're
is
in
dead.
big poo-poo
Well,
doo-doos.
I mean, look, what happened to Darker Parish? What happened to Zach Merritt? They just
Copped a tag. I've got a lovely little high heel. Because this week, let me tell you, the Melbourne Demons are my shoe-in of the week. It's absolutely happening. I'm not hearing any of this chat about Essendon going to rock up and rock the Casbah against the D's. I'm not having none of that.
So you mean to tell me you're going out on a pretty big limb and picking $1.25 favourite as your shoe-in?
Shoe-in.
You are as shameless as Fox Footy, my friend.
The shoe is in. The shoe couldn't be further inserted upwards.
Disgraceful.
Mate, the D's have got such a bad run home. They need this. They need this game, let me tell you that much. All right, let's roll it on to...
The bets?
Yeah, thanks for pulling me back in there. I've got Nick Hines, 20-plus touches. I've got Big Dyson Heppel, 25-plus touches. I've got, you can put that on, I think it's your size. I've got Ed Langdon for 20-plus touches. I've got Big Track Attack. The neighbouring India, it's Christian Trakistan, 25 touches, and then Harrison Jones, anytime goal. Fresh off of his Rising Star nomination, he had 4 goals on the weekend, something like that.
Nice.
Put that together, it's paying about $5.50, $5.60, something like that.
I'd just add Jordan Ridley for 20+. He seems to have taken some of that work back off Mason Redmond again, so 20+ for Riddler.
Liking that a lot. All right, let's look at our Saturday night game at the Adelaide Oval. And there's a bit of intrigue about this one, boys. Stay focused. It's the Port Adelaide Power versus the Sydney Swans. Now, Sydney has flown out to Melbourne. They are currently waiting to hear back from the SA government to see if they'll be let in to play Port. Could be a twilight game. To allow them to fly in, play, fly out again like what Geelong did. So, curious one. A few things going on there. Des, what do you like?
These are fly-in, fly-out team, the old FIFO teams. They've been getting up there. What are they? Oh, 2-0. So
Yep.
2-0. But I think...
The boys probably just like the idea of just getting back home that night.
Sleep in your own bed.
Yeah.
Nothing
But
wrong
I
with
think regardless of where they play, I think Port are going to get up here. They obviously dismantled Gold Coast, and I don't know why they were paying $1.50. That was
Rude.
That was
It
like,
was rude.
That was like the multi pick of the week. Like far out, chuck the house on that. But nah, they're going to beat Sydney. Sydney aren't, like, you look and go, Sydney are going to probably more, they could play finals this. I think they're going to play finals this year. They'll sneak in that 7th, 8th spot, but like they're not.
They're not a good footy team.
No, they're not.
And another year or two yet from being real, like, genuine contenders. Probably
they've played great footy and they've shown that they can win. I'd love an upset. Everyone loves Sydney this year. They're kind of that underdog team this year, but they're not the teams that beat Port. The teams that beat Port are the premiership contenders. You know,
Yep.
Port are a gatekeeper this year. They're the gatekeeping team. They could prove us wrong. They've got a real nice run home too. If you look at that, they've got a real comfortable.
We're
Run.
sort of like
They could go to undefeated and go into the finals.
Really, I'll equate it to the Port line. So if you're above Port in the table, you can definitely win the flag. You're below them, no chance. Port, like you said, they're right there.
Gatekeepers, that's what they call. Yeah. They're gatekeepers to the premiership. You know, sometimes gatekeepers can win the flag, but just not this year. I don't think.
I'm liking everything you're putting down, boys. I've got some stats.
They're going to beat Sydney.
You guys, Sydney, 1
that's my
39.
lock of the week. Lock of the week, Sydney. Well, lock of the week to beat Sydney is anywhere they play.
Well, we have a consensual consensus in which we have Port 1 39. I'm jumping on that one too. Suns are 3 wins, 1 loss against top 8 sides this year. Port are 0-7. I honestly think we start to see that ledger just start to balance out a little bit. Sydney lost to the Hawks. Then they had to buy. It's a good time to get them. Port, massive win, confidence builder against the Suns. Great time to run into another there and thereabouts team and press your case for finals. I like that a lot. Port, easy. Yep. Well, not easy, but Port, definitely. I've got a 5-leg same game multi-bet. I get my words right.
Nice.
I'm looking at Ollie Wines 30-plus touches and coming off the back of 44. He's going to do that.
Brownlow contention.
Hugely so.
850, jump on that.
Have a look at that one. Travie Boak, 25 touches for Trav Boak. And I've just been a real little, just typical stuff. Do you know? Typical stuff. Oh, no, I mean for the rest of this. Callum Mills, Jake Lloyd, Luke Parker, 25 touches each. So it's really, if you look at Parker, Lloyd, Mills, Boak, Wines, that is just
I reckon if we went back and listened to every Sydney preview this year, I reckon those 3 legs would have been in just about every single one.
I promise you.
And look, if they come off, that's fine.
And they keep delivering. But all of that together is paying $7 for those 5.
Nice. I also had Will Hayward anytime goal because he's been good for it. He's coming off a head knock, so yet to see if he'll play, but I think he'll get up, and I reckon he'll kick goal as well. And aim on 20+ because he just does it every single week. And I will always put money on it.
Clockwork Tings, nicely done. Nice. Do you have anything to add?
No. Yeah, Port to win, lock of the week.
Port to win, lock
Whatever
of the
they're
week.
paying, what were they paying? I think they were paying actually quite nicely, were they not?
Yeah, I didn't even look at the head-to-heads because I've been steering clear.
Correct.
Port to win, lock of the week, bam.
It's a smart man that steers clear of the head-to-heads. It is a dummy that bets on the head-to-heads, which, of course, gentlemen, means it's time for...
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Dummy of the week.
Yes, boys, dummy of the week. Dummy of the week. I reckon we can chop through this one reasonably quick. Just a few things. Whoever's writing the articles there at Fox Footy and Fox Footy HQ needs to just head back to school, go Billy Madison mode for a week or two. Go back, just learn English, become smarter than a 5th grader with Rove McManus, and start writing some decent articles. In the space of 2 days, I saw one article which was talking about Mark Harvey taking over the Collingwood job this week and coaching instead of Robert Harvey. Mark Harvey, of course, used to coach Fremantle, and to my knowledge is not involved in any way, shape or form with the Pies in their current process. So that was pretty boneheaded. And of course, there was another article talking about how Tom Mitchell, this is from Fox Footy, talking about how good Tom Mitchell was on the weekend. And he had 36 tackles, right, and a goal, and 8 tackles to go with it. That's a lot of tackling. That's a lot of tackling, Des.
Tom Mitchell takes pride rounds seriously, mate. Lots of hugs.
Everyone
on the field gets one. That's 44, isn't it?
Yeah.
One for everyone, for 2 teams.
You just went Oprah mode. You get a hug. You get a hug. Everybody get a hug.
I love that.
You just went into it.
I love that. Inclusivity. No one left out.
The other big one, actually, that's really niggled me is the AFL/MRO. Let's look at this. If you are going to genuinely, straight-faced, without blinking, ask to suspend David McKay for 3 weeks for executing an excellent bump that very unfortunately broke a man's jaw, and then you're going to turn around and fine serial pest Joel Selwood $3,000 piddly little dollars for scraping a fist and a hand over 2 different blokes' faces and then deliberately sprigging, Taylor Giray when he was laying on the ground. That's an outrage. Like, what a joke. I'll pay the $3,000. Joel, call me. I'll Venmo you. All right, I'll give you the $3,000. That is a joke, AFL. Jesus. I mean, and everyone's like, oh, I can't believe. Why would Selwood do this? It's going to ruin his reputation. If you don't realise that Selwood's made a career out of doing this, out of not standing up in tackles, going into contests with his head umpire, you're watching? Give me a free umpire. The whole career. And this little niggly sort of stuff. He's been doing it his whole career. If you're not aware of that, you're either naive at best or you're stupid.
You're on the dummy list.
You're on the dummy list.
You're a Geelong fan.
Or you're a Geelong fan with your head in the sand.
I mean, I've got the article up here. Chris Scott saying that he deserves more respect as an icon of the game. He's a champion, all this sort of stuff. The only people that think he's a champion are Geelong fans. And Correct. I'm sure Cameron Popplewell probably believes that. Cam, I'm looking at you, mate.
Get ahead.
No good at all. This crap punching people in the head, that was blatantly obvious as well.
Of course it was.
Clear as day. No, that doesn't get any respect. That's not champion behaviour. That's just bullshit.
It is, but he's made a career
Absolute
out of
nonsense.
this. This is not all of a sudden cropped up, oh, what's he doing? This is out of character.
You can
career.
You can make arguments that he accidentally stepped on Taylor Dre. I'm not going to, because I don't think he did.
No, of course he didn't.
But if you wanted to, you probably could make that argument, but it's just crap. Like you said, he does it all the time. It's not champion behaviour. No one outside of Geelong has that opinion. I certainly don't.
No.
I know you don't.
I don't.
And you don't either. He's a ducker. He's a pest. And we just don't want that.
Flog.
Don't want it at all.
Hurry up and retire, please.
Please
retire.
If they win the flag this year, I'll retire.
I hope so. I hope and pray. If Toby Green did it, weeks.
And he said that. Toby Green come out and said that.
If Tom Lynch did it.
Respect that.
If Tom Lynch did it. Weeks. Weeks. Joel Selwood. Oh, come here, Joel. It's the AFL. Ridiculous. Put your heads in. Got anything else?
No.
Got anything else? No. Short, sharp, angry, mad.
I just
enraged dummy.
I don't understand.
It made me so mad.
I don't even understand it. Like, Geelong aren't even looked at as Victorian. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, then I don't get it.
Down on the meth coast. All right, let's have a look at the first Sunday game of the scheduled 3. We're looking at the GWS Giants versus the Hawthorn Hawks. Fellas, this one was going to be at Giants Stadium. Been shifted to the MCG. Very, very interesting. Could affect a few tips. Not affecting mine.
Not at all.
Not affecting mine.
I think it's quite good.
Yeah,
I think it's quite good because Giants I know that like they might not make finals, but if they make finals this year, it's more than likely they're going to be playing in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. So a game like this where they can play Hawthorn, they're going to win. They're going to win. I don't know what the odds are because they have been taken down.
I'll find out.
They've all been taken down.
Because of the venue change?
Purely because of the change. They don't know. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on.
Man.
But I think this is good for the Giants. They might not think it now, but in the long run, like they come in the MCG. What if they play in Richmond the first? Like they might be playing Richmond for the season.
Could yeah.
You know, like fifth and eighth or however it ends up.
You can see that.
Sixth and
you
seventh,
can see that
know?
being like that. Yeah.
And it's good. It's good practice.
And their track record at the G is
horrendous. So it's good. It's going to get a +1 in the win column this time.
They need the practice. I do have the Giants 1-39, but.
Yep.
2 games back from the bye, Hawks have actually been half decent.
Shown
like,
a bit.
you know, they pummeled Sydney. It could have been way worse than 36 points or whatever it was.
It looked worse.
They very easily could have won that game against the Bombers on the weekend as well. I don't think they're going to beat the Giants, but this game certainly has a bit more intrigue than it did, say, 3 weeks ago.
Give it a red hot go. Yeah.
I think they will. Getting Warpel back in as well.
I can see it being actually a better game than like it is on paper. Like a better game being like, there'll be some good skills and there'll be some good footy being played. It's just the Giants are just going. The Giants have been finding ways to win. Mm-hmm. Obviously not against
the
North
ball
Melbourne. You can
right to titch, surely.
Into the grunt.
It'll be big pride. Big pride.
Wusna. That's exactly what it's going. Very quietly, the Giants have just been getting blokes back.
Yep.
Very quietly. All of a sudden, Nick Haynes is back. All of a sudden, Phil Davis is back. You know what I mean?
Kovler's not far off.
It's a little Cogsy. He'll be back in sooner than you think. Hawks had a better team effort last week, I thought, than Essendon in general. And by that, I mean, like, that they were a more
steady state,
a more even contribution across the board for the Hawks, but it's just not enough to get over the line against your teams that are semi-good at this point of the season, unfortunately. GWS really hit their straps, I thought, against Carlton. They really looked good. I'm liking Taranto and Whitfield and who else is in there at the minute?
Kelly.
Thank you. Josh Kelly, how could I forget? I'm liking
the Don.
He
did that in that game with a pretty badly sprained ankle as well. Either of you saw it?
I did. He
sprained it in the second quarter, went off. Well, it might have been in the first.
Had a
had a bit of a jab, got it taped up and played on.
Unreal.
Giants Giants for mine, 1-39, and I can't go past that one, I'm afraid. Look, assuming Josh Kelly gets up, I think he will, 8-day break, I think he will. 25 touches. Lockie Whitfield, 25. Timmy Time Taranto, 25. Isaac Cumming, who had his first ever goal in the AFL on the weekend.
Good man.
Good for him.
I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, big celebrations.
Old Cummers.
Old I am.
20 touches for Cummers this weekend, I think. Will Day, 15 touches, and Jacob Kazicki, anytime goal scorer. Threw a few legs together on that one. Bit of a centipede kind of a bet, paying about $7 in that vicinity.
I got no bets because there was no markets.
No
Too sensible for
I'm
that,
very
mate.
interested to see what they come out with. Like, I was in who is the favourite? Giants have got to be the favourite. I'm thinking like $1.50 favourite.
I reckon. Hang
You'd
on.
imagine.
I reckon I've got a few little secret stashed apps hidden around the place that might be able to tell
Grinder?
us.
Deary me.
That's not a secret. That is something I'm
Big
proud
pride.
of. Big proud.
I'm not
Big
I'm
proud.
not discussed that you've got it. I'm discussed you didn't tell me.
I thought
be
you
honest
had
with
it.
you, mate.
I thought you were on it.
Inclusive.
I
We want to let people know what's going on.
I thought you were on it. Giants $1.30. Hawks $3.75. Thanks very much. So it's all right. You come here when you want the information. I've got the information.
Damn.
I got the information. All right, fellas, let's roll it on to the second Sunday game. West Coast Eagles versus the Western Bulldogs. Arguably game of the round for mine. Arguably game
They
of
had
the
an
round.
awesome round 2, I believe it was, when the Doggies just got up by 8 points, I want to say. Don't know how I remember that, but look, I'm going to have to check that after the pod. I'm impressed if
I'll check it now.
I reckon you'd be close.
8
I'm
points.
on a
I think it
fact
was.
finding mission.
Unreal game. That was one of the best games. I would even say one of the best games
season.
of the first half of the season. You know, like it was awesome, and the Doggies showed why they were going to win this time round.
Yep. Big
Big wide oval. They've already played there against Freo, and it didn't really seem to harm them. What? How many?
100-93. Dogs got up by 7. That was played at Marvell.
Nasty.
Well, that's it.
Stadium.
You're fired, mate. If you don't know,
Nasty.
you don't know your random obscure stats.
Random
Gone.
round
Exactly.
two.
See ya.
We are
Scores.
experts, mate. We are experts.
Damn. But I think the Doggies are going to roll up here. They're going to roll up and they are going to get a big dub here. And this is a big dub for the Doggies because they've lost their 3 losses. What? Melbourne, Geelong, Richmond. Yeah, Melbourne, Geelong, Richmond. I was going to say Brisbane then, but they rolled
Contenders.
Brisbane at Mars. Lost to the 3 contenders. They're going to have to beat the Eagles here, just for themselves. Just for themselves.
Yeah, they need one. They need one after last week.
Especially after West Coast going and beating Richmond, it's going to be a real feather in the cap to go. Well, guess what, Richmond? You couldn't get it.
And like I said,
done.
I think
can.
after last week, they need something to pump them up again. You know, like that was a real kick in the pants.
It was.
Getting beat at the final siren. I think being in Perth for the week's actually really good for them.
Yep, get out. Get out of the bubble.
Absolutely. You can just go and train. Don't have to worry about anything else. Just play footy and get acclimatised to the Optus Oval
Big
Stadium.
wide oval, nice oval for them to play there. This is exactly what Joel Selwood said. If they played another oval, Geelong might have struggled.
Problematic. So you both go on the
spread them like peanut butter.
both go on the
I'm going the
dogs.
Dogs one.
Marmalade.
Marmalade.
Marmaduke.
Marmaduke.
Sheesh.
Marmaduke. It's a dog. It all comes back together. I'm actually going the Eagles. Going the Eagles 1-39. Shuey back. Shepherd back. Tim Kelly back. McGovern back.
I just think Doggies have a bigger heart. I think the heart's just going to be
Well,
a
you
little
They
say
are
that.
spicy ins, but how many ins is too many?
No, those are all ins that you find room for. Who do you tip out?
You would think Nick Nat, Yo, and Shuey are all going to be on managed minutes again. So that therefore means your bench is not going to be getting much turnover. End of the game, when the Dogs play their best footy, they will run over the Eagles.
I would typically agree with you. This is an Eagles side that just beat the Tigers on their home deck. They've been able to stay home for 2 weeks. Lovely weather. You know what I mean? I'm liking the Eagles. I feel like
I'm
they're settled
very excited.
and big ins. Oh, yeah.
big time.
I don't care who really wins this one. I'm genuinely looking
for sure.
forward to that. I think Bruce is going to cop a lot of attention, though, especially if McGovern comes back in. Norton's going to get those little ribs tested out. Bruce is going to cop a fair bit of attention. And I genuinely think West Coast's talls are just too big for the Dogs' backline as it stands at the moment. I think that's going to be a genuine headache for Lukey B in the coach's box. Interesting stat for you fellas. The Dogs have not won in the West since 2016. And we all know what happened that year. This is against the Eagles, can I say, when they haven't won in the West. Games against the Eagles in the West, they have not won since 2016. I'm looking at the Eagles. Let's have a look at some bets. So, now look. I know I said I'm tipping the Eagles. There is a certain flavour to this multi. I'll give you the hot tip.
Tastes like dog.
Cody Waitman, anytime goal. Marcus Bontempelli, anytime goal. Marcus Bontempelli, 25 touches. Bailey Dale, 20 touches. Jake McRae, 30 touches. That's paying about $5 there.
So what you're saying is the Eagles are going to win because the only 5 things the Dogs are going to do in that game is that. That's all they need to do to beat the Eagles. Just that.
Oh, it's just...
Well, I'm glad you said it.
Just that. I've got Jamie Cripps anytime and Josh Kennedy 2+ because I think you are on the money. I think that back line will be tested a little bit. So Josh Kennedy will make the most of that.
All righty. Last game of the round, boys. They said we'd never make it. And what a spicy sort of intriguing game that we're going to be ending the round out on here. It is the Carlton Blues versus the Adelaide Crows at Marvel Stadium.
Bryce Gibbs Cup.
The Bryce Gibbs Cup. The Mitch McGovern donut. The Mitch McGovern muffin. There you go. The Mitch McGovern muffin. Who's getting the muffin? Who's coming home with it?
I want to say Adelaide's so bad.
Well, then say it.
And they finished strong. They finished so strong, obviously against, obviously against Carlton, but obviously against St Kilda. I think Carlton are going to win this. This is just a typical game that Carlton win.
Backs against the wall.
And people go, but even when the backs against the wall, Carlton love it.
I reckon I've said that 9 times this year.
Yeah, I know.
And they've lost all 9 of them.
No, say it again.
I know.
When their back's against the wall,
I'm not saying
Carlton will.
I'm not saying
will.
that's exactly what I'm saying now. Their backs are against the wall, but they win these small little games here and there, I've seen you be pretty good at picking them. I will. I always go back to 2018. That was a big pick.
Doesn't mind
big
himself.
pick in my life. I got a lot of hate for this one, and they that's
every opportunity, mate.
Oh, it was unreal. Round 6 against the Doggies, baby. That was a big one. I called that. But a couple of years ago, look it up.
They can't.
A couple of years ago as
Where
well.
did they look it up?
I'm the Carlton Whisperer. The Carlton Whisperer says, I think Carlton are going to win a close one.
Jeepers.
Close one. I love Adelaide to win, though. I hope I'm wrong. This is the one tip where I hope I'm wrong.
Interesting.
But
No, you got to go with the heart. Sometimes you have to go with the heart.
I know.
And the heart wants what the heart wants. Pride round. We love it. Dan, what do you reckon?
I want the Adelaide Crows to win this game, and I'm going to be tipping them. The Blues last week showed exactly who they are. Just spineless, gutless cowards. And that's what it is. I sat down and watched that game.
It was horrible, man.
For the first 3 minutes, right, Sam Doherty was trying to stop Sam Walsh getting tagged. He was, getting in between him and DeBoer at stoppages.
Saw a bit of that.
Right? That stopped.
You're right, mate. It's been... I got touches, man. I got me and my fantasy team, man. You're right, Sammy? You're right, Sammy. All right, I'll see you later.
That was it.
Beers, yeah?
That was it for the rest of the game. They just let him get railed.
Did you see his face afterward when the siren went?
Yeah.
Like, he looked crushed, Sam Walsh.
Absolutely. And they just, like I said, they just let him get railed. All good for Pride Month. That's fine. Getting railed, no issues with that at this table. Not on a footy field, though, lads. Please, for the love of God, stand up for your mate. It's not the first time either. We saw it earlier on in the year, right? You can relax, mate.
It's normally him that says this.
I don't mind.
It's normally him that says these things.
Calm. It's been the calm cast for Des.
I'm hot and Carlton at the moment. They're really grinding my gears.
Oh, grinder?
Yeah, they're really grinding my gears, mate. Like earlier on in the year, it happened again. Remember when Cole Hardigan smacked him in the head off the ball?
That's right, yeah.
And Harry Mackay was like,
You did,
you're right, mate. Yeah, no worries. Eddie Best behind him didn't give a shit.
Nick Newman, when he went arse over biscuit, bloody 2 weeks ago, and laid on the ground, seeing the light.
It is very clear that they don't care. It's very clear. But these are the teams that love to beat Adelaide.
The Blues don't give a shit,
these are the teams that Adelaide love to beat. You go back to this time last year.
We've literally beaten Geelong, Melbourne, and St Kilda.
Yeah, but if you go back
Melbourne.
Go back to this time last year, and Carlton had to beat the Crows to get it to be assured of being able to make finals. Crows turned up. Same with GWS the next round. If we beat the Crows, we're in. And the Crows just went on a rampage.
And I don't know if you watched. I don't know if you watched on the couch the other night with Brownie and the boys.
Who else was on there?
The boys, I don't know.
Who else?
Jared Healy.
Yeah, I like him. Who else?
Yeah, a couple other guys. I don't know.
Anyone you can think of?
No.
No? Who else is on the couch? No? Is Gary Lyon on there?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I'm not watching it then. Go on.
Yeah. All I was going to say was, right, they showed some vision of the Carlton game. Just gutless. They're so lazy. Zach Williams couldn't be arsed chasing Josh Kelly down, and it resulted in a goal. Just numerous examples.
He's my disappointment of the year.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen an $800,000 coconut before?
Yes, Brad Hill.
Nice.
And you would think teams would learn, but they don't.
No.
Look, I'm going Crows. I don't think. I get what you're saying. Blues do not have the ticket to rebound. They just don't.
Prove me.
They
come
don't.
on, Crows.
And expecting a mass exodus.
What are you saying? Come on, Crows, lose.
The mighty Crom.
They've been
I want them to
talking
win.
about-
I want them to win. I just can just see Adelaide. This is a typical.
This whole review's hanging over them. They're just got
Thank
a real
you.
bad stink about them right now. So Crows 1-39.
Seems to me that the Crows are doing a lot more than you'd expect with a lot less talent, and Carlton is the exact opposite of that right now. And that's very, very interesting. What have we learned from Richmond over the last 5 years? The team who works the hardest, regardless of any other talent, is the team that'll come home with it.
Yep.
Crows have been fading in and out of games. They're probably going to do that again. Let's be real. They'll have a quarter where they just go to sleep, and that's going to be when Carlton has a run on the thing. Yeah, hello boys, we're on here. Ooh, what's-na?
The media will love that.
Oh no, of course they will. Oh, you can hear the commentators now. Luke Dessy will be stroking himself into a full-fisted, red-headed glory.
And we're all
in the
good with that
box.
pride. If you want to do that, do it.
I do it all the
Not
time.
in the workplace, but whatever you do in your own home and with loved ones, go for it. We love it. The review's hanging over the head, as you absolutely said. Carlton won't defend. If the going gets tough, Carlton won't get going. So I'm tipping the Adelaide Crows here 1-39. For a multi, last one of the round, I've got Rory Sloane, 20-plus touches. Tom Duday, where's my car, for 15 touches. Sam,
like that one.
Sam, I'm hungry and I'm not going to share my food with anyone else. You can starve Doherty for 20-plus touches. Nick, hello, Newman for 15 touches. Harry, I look like Peter Griffin Schonberg for 15-plus touches. And Patrick, whereabouts is the airport terminal and which direction is West Cripps for an anytime goal? I think he always turns up against the Crows.
Yep.
Big Paddy Cripper. And I think he's going to be like, I have to get this team on my back and pull them over the line without a bad week. I think he has a big one, including a goal. All of that together is paying about $8. You can have that.
Nice. I got Walsh 30+. I think he'll rebound. I think the Crows don't tag.
Yeah.
So
Ben Keys?
but Ben Keys doesn't tag, mate. Ben Keys is too busy finding his own footy. I think he's had 30 disposals in about 4 or 5 straight.
He's been having
Something like that. So he's too busy finding his own footy. And I've got Doc 90+ fantasy points. Because if you don't care about your own teammates and all you care about is getting the pill,
Hungry.
that equals fantasy points.
Hungry boy.
And that's all I really care about. So.
Hungry boy. Fantastic. Gentlemen, I reckon that brings us to the end of what's been an absolutely mammoth round 15, 15? 14? 15? 15, sorry, I get carried away. I'm just so proud of you boys. I'm proud. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of pride in the room. There's pride round. Okay, Dan, if people want to get in touch with us on the socials, and we recommend that you do, how do they do it?
We love it.
So, on Facebook, Armchair Advisors. On Instagram, at Armchair AD. On Twitter, at Armchair AD. On the YouTubes, which in theory you should be watching this right now, but if you're listening to the podcast, go to the YouTube.
Give us a like,
subscribe. And that's basically it. Like I said, we loved hearing from the fans. So if you've got any little multis that you want to send us through, or any little tips, hints, anything, send it through because we'll love it and we'll respond.
Desmond Van Basten, you're going to go on a trip at some point. I feel like we need to send you back overseas at some point.
You know what? I'm going to go somewhere with my nice warm Thursday. Nice warm Thursday. They've got their winter warmth sale at the moment. Warmth or warmth? Not sure how the spelling is exactly.
It's warmth.
You're butchering this. Where are you going? Pick a spot on the map. Where you reckon?
Let me think in my map. I'm going to North Pole.
He's going to the North Pole.
North Pole.
Very intriguing. We'll see how that goes for you.
Marco
And
Polo.
have yourself a lovely rest of the week and around 15. We shall see you next week. Please gamble responsibly.
Polo.
Take it easy.